The gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Gosar, the sponsor of H.R. 1345. The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Chairman, for holding today's hearing on the Catastrophic Wildfire Prevention Act and a variety of other proposals to promote active forest management. There is an emergency situation in our communities, and we must act. Due to redistricting in my state, I have represented nearly all of the rural Arizona over my past 2.5 years in Congress. Those areas contain over 48,000 square miles of land administered by the federal government, including 14,000 square miles of forest lands in Coconino, Apache Sitgraves, Prescott, Tonto, and the Kaibab National Forest. The region is the epicenter of our nation's forest health emergency. Over the last 20 years, the frequency of fires and the magnitude of the acreages burned have increased strikingly. In the 1960s, a fire of several thousand acres was considered large. Today, we measure the destruction in hundreds of thousands of acres. The 5 largest wildfires in my state's history have all occurred in the last 10 years. They are destroying our natural treasures and livelihoods. The fires are burning so hot, they are sterilizing soil. Much of this damage will take decades to naturally repair itself, if ever. In 2 of the aforementioned Arizona fires, we have lost over 20% of the Mexican spotted owl nests that exist in the world. We could talk for hours about the circumstances that have led to this emergency situation. In fact, we have spent hours in this committee conducting much-needed oversight. But we are all here today to talk about potential solutions. The current federal system continues to prioritize fighting fires. Although the need to suppress fires is never going to go away, we must shift our priority towards proactive management of our public lands. If we don't, we're going to bankrupt our federal and local governments, lose the natural treasures many of us hold dear, and cause a rural way of life to go extinct. That is why I support Arizona's collaborative landscape-scale restoration project, commonly known as the Forest Restoration Initiative, or FORFRI, and have introduced the Catastrophic Wildfire Prevention Act to help. First, I'd like to briefly touch on FORFRI. This is the first of its kind, large-scale treatment will reduce damaging wildfire impacts as well as provide forest jobs, markets for wood products, and ecological restoration. It focuses on 2.4 million acres of ponderosa pine forest in Arizona's national forest, 50,000 acres per year over a 20-year span. This unique collaborative project has garnered my support as well as many of my colleagues in the Arizona delegation, like the ranking member, our governor, the affected counties and cities, and an unprecedented range of environmental groups and industry partners. I am committed to doing anything needed here in Congress to ensure the FORFRI's success. This leads me into the legislation we are considering today, H.R. 1345. Instead of relying on the Forest Service to pay all the costs for restoration thinning, the FORFRI recognizes the fiscal reality of today and allows the feds to partner with private industry to restore proper forest health. But as you know, the agency's authority to enter into these public-private partnerships expires this September. It is also important to note that FORFRI is one of the Forest Service's flagship collaboration projects. Many others in states that badly need large-scale treatment hope to pursue similar initiatives. My bill renews and reforms this important tool so that these types of initiatives are primed for success. These landscape-scale restoration projects are a key component of our long-term plan, but we have an emergency situation now. Projects that will conclude 2 to 5 decades from now, if they aren't litigated to death, will not alleviate today's immediate danger. That leads to the other components of my legislation. It provides the land management agencies a variety of other tools to conduct smaller projects now. It expands the Good Neighbor Authority, a tool that allows the feds to partner with state foresters to treat our forests. Since 2000, Colorado has used this authority to carry out over 40 projects. Utah was granted similar authority in 2004 and has used it to carry out 15 projects on 2,800 acres of public land. The pilot was a success and should be expanded to all states. It provides a variety of alternative expedited arrangements to streamline thinning and grazing projects needed in immediate at-risk areas like our forest communities, critical water delivery and electrical infrastructures, and our schools. While long-term active forest management will protect all of us over the long run, we have to protect our people and our assets today. My bill provides for that immediate relief. H.R. 1345 has garnered bipartisan support here in Congress, co-sponsored by 14 members from 10 different states. Additionally, it has strong support among stakeholders, including the cattlemen, the natural resources conservation districts, and the Farm Bureau. I would like to submit a comprehensive letter of support for the record.
Without objection, it will be part of the record.
Our forest and natural resources are a way of life in Arizona. I remain saddened by what has happened to our constituents that have been adversely affected by wildfire. That suffering is avoidable if we look forward, work collaboratively in stewardship, and address the desperate forest maintenance crisis and other natural resources-related issues facing our state. Remember, no is no longer an answer. It's time to have so-called skin in the game for everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your leadership on this issue, and I look forward to working with you on my bill and other proposals that will restore the environment, improve public safety, save the taxpayer dollars, and put people back to work. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman for his statement.